Hello everyone and welcome back again. In this session we'll start looking on the manufactures of cement or the production of cement. As we discussed before, cement is different than aggregates. Aggregates, the source of the aggregates is natural. So we go to the mountains or we go to the source of the aggregate, we collect the aggregates and we directly using it in the production of in the concrete mixtures. But cement, it need to go through some process, manufacturing process before we start using it in the concrete. So cement is manufactured material. We don't directly use cement from natural, or we cannot use directly the raw material of the cement on the production of concrete. The raw material of the cement, it need to go through a manufacture process before we start using it in the concrete. So today we'll look on the manufacturers and what is the stages in order to get the final product of the cement. So cement is a manufactured material, different than aggregate. We can use aggregate directly from the source, the natural source of the aggregates. We can use it directly in the concrete, but in cement, no, we need to do some manufacturing process. So during the manufacture process, here are five main stages or steps in general that the process of concrete or the cement production. So we need a raw material. This raw material is subjected to heating and cooling. It become a clinker. This clinker will start grinding the clinker, and with the addition of some cementitious material in order to adjust the chemical composition of the final product of cement, then we can start using the cement. So starting with the first step in more details, the raw material to produce a cement. The raw material that is used in the manufactures or in the production of cement or Portland cement are mainly consist of lime, silica, ammonia, and iron oxides. So these are the raw material that we are starting the production of cement with. So we need to find an quarry or source that is rich with lime, rich with silica, rich with ammonia, and rich with the iron oxide. So these are the raw material that we can start manufacturing the cement for. So the first step is the raw material, collecting the raw material. We start with the blasting. The raw material, we go to the quarry, which is definitely should be rich with lime and rich with clay, rich with silica, to be a source of the raw material for the cement production. So the process start with the blasting. The raw material that are used to manufacture cement are mainly limestone, as we discuss here, limestone, silica, and ammonia, and the clay are blasted from the quarry, and the quarry should be rich of this material. Then we go with the second step here, which is transportation. These raw material are loaded into a dumper, what we call it a dumper here. So after blasting, then we transfer it through a dumper. Then we go with the third stage or step of producing or manufacture cement, which is crushing and transportation. So after we are collecting the material here, it comes in a big stone, big volume. Then these material need to be crushed using a crushing machine in a small pieces. So crushing and transportation, the raw material after crushing are transported to the plants by conveyor. So this is the conveyor, this crushing machine. It being the material is being crushed, then transferred to the plant using a conveyor. The plants store the material before they are homogenized. So this is the store where after the process of crushing the material. Then we go with the fourth step, the raw grinding. So the raw material are very finely ground in order to produce the raw mix. So we are using actually a raw mill in order to finely ground the material after it went through the crushing process. After we are getting the raw mix, which is coming in a powder form or they are finely grounded, then it's subjected to the fifth stage. What is the fifth stage? Is burning. But before burning, it goes for preheated step or stage. So the raw mix, this one, the raw mix is preheated before it goes in the kiln. And this is what we call it kiln. So it goes preheated, then it goes to the kiln. So what does actually in the kiln doing? Which is heated by flame that can be hot as high as 2000 centigrades. The raw mix burns at 1500 centigrades, producing what we call it clinker. So it's simply the raw mix here, it's preheated, then it goes to the kiln, then it starts burning the raw mix, and with the temperature can go up with 1500. Then after this process, we come up with what we call it clinker. So when it leaves the clink here after it burns, it's rapidly cooled down with air fans. So the raw mix is burnt to produce what we call it clinker. The basic material need to be or to make cement. So the clinker is the basic material that it will be converted to cement. Then we'll go with that seventh stage or step of production of cement, which is grinding. So using this clinker, then the clinker and the gypsum are very finely grounded, giving pure cement. So are grinded together to produce pure cement. So this material, after being grounded in a powder form, we might also use a cementitious material, extra material that like gypsum or any secondary additives material can be added to the mix in order to adjust the mixer proportion or adjust the chemical composition of the final products or the final cement. And they are grinding together with this cementitious material. Then the last stage is storage, packing, dispatch, and this is the storage of the material, the final material that comes after adding some additives or cementitious to adjust the chemical composition. And then we start with packing into small packs, what you see in the markets that comes normally with 50-kilogram bags. Then it goes for its final destination or distribution to the market. So this is the steps that we need to go through in order to produce the final products of the cement, Portland cement, that after this can be used in the concrete. So again, cement is a manufactured, the raw material of the cement, we don't use it directly in concrete, but it need to go through this manufacturer's process before we start using it in the concrete production. So we stop here. I will see you in the following session.